Seems to be loading. Yes, so hi everyone, we are live. Welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. In this video, I'm gonna be doing a fan art of a character from a comic of a friend of mine. The character's name is Fluffers, and he is a fox. I'll be using Clip Studio Paint for this illustration, just because it's really easy to do line art in this program. And also it's very easy to adjust. I am pressing the Alt key whenever I subtract and Shift key when I want to add. It's just a great program for this. And this is the same program we use to make our comic book, Neil's Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. Initially we used Photoshop, but we as soon as possible changed to Clip Studio Paint, just because it's so much easier to get the results you want with this program. There's so many features that just make it a lot easier. Now, I wouldn't say that for all types of art this is the best. If you want to do concept art, PaintStorm is definitely a better option, but it's a pretty complicated program. So it's definitely not for beginners. There's just too many buttons and options there, and you can get confused and lost very easily. That's happened to me, and I wouldn't consider myself a beginner digital artist. So I'm kind of trying to keep the same. Now all of these lines are vectors, so they're not gonna always behave the way you want it to. Like, you cannot take, let's say, a bit off the top. Because it treats it like an object. Oh, hi Ada, how are you? How's it been going? Boo. I'm good. How about you? Okay. I was trying to remember. Okay, well, what was that? Oh, wait, it's an abbreviation. I never used abbreviation much in school, like all of my friends that used Yahoo chat back then. They would use a lot of abbreviations, but since I never used that much, I always have to like think a lot. And in the Facebook groups, of course, some people leave me abbreviation. I'm like, what was that? What did it mean? Looking faffy so far. I don't know if you're reading the Fluffers comic on Tapastic, but it's about a fox, and he's a vegan, and he's also not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's got a heart of gold. And his girlfriend is a cat, and they meet because she was trying to eat one of his friends. So that's how they met. Yep. Yeah, it's cute. The author is on hiatus because he has to move. Uh, we're gonna have to move as well. I'm not looking forward to that. But hopefully I can get some pages done ahead of time and not have to worry too much. No, we're gonna go next week to look at some houses again or apartments or something. See what we can find. Good luck. Thank you. We're gonna need it. Try now. Because I'm not completely satisfied with the line art, so I'm kind of also trying to improve it. Try now. decide where the line art should go, but I don't want too much overlap. Let's see. It's definitely easier to draw with shorter lines than to try and go with a big line. Sometimes it can be really annoying with the line because you did it very well in the sketch, but then when you try and do the line art, then it looks horrible. Do you follow Sarah Scribbles on Tapastic? So she's obviously a graphic artist, and she sometimes posts about the struggles of being an artist. If you don't know Sarah, I can give you the link to her comic. It's called Sarah Scribbles. And if you move the center like that, then you can rotate around the point. Hi, Jiki La Kagwe. Hope I said that right. Not sure in what language the name is. So welcome to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to write them and I will answer. Ah, come on. Oh, you can't hear me? I think the sound is okay. Thanks for coming. Okay, let me see. Adar wrote me. For me, I find it difficult when I make a nice sketch, then I do the line art with a pen and it's horrible because I can't even erase after I make a mistake. Oh, I'm so sorry. Or it's sad when I use watercolor and again make a mistake, no control Z. Oh yeah, that's so that's why I do watercolor and traditional art as a hobby. I would never wanna have to earn money from traditional art because you always have deadlines. You have to move fast. Yeah, you have to buy the supplies and everything. And it's just not worth it anymore. If it ever was. Because I mean, you used to have a famous painter that would have, let's say, a couple of months or years to do a painting, and they'd be given a lot of money to survive until then, and so on and so forth. Ready and waiting for new messages. Yeah, I can't wait to get started on digital art. Same with 3D modeling softwares. My restream crashed. Okay, I will restart it. Restream. Chat. Good thing only the chat crashed and not everything else. What? It's not working for sculpting and such. Test. Restream. Chat. Yeah, I'm not getting messages anymore. Okay, then I'll open the usual. Pop out chats. Gotta go to Picarto. Chatta. Okay. What a disappointment, restream. I really like that. Now I have 3 chats again. And it's gonna be hard to see what people write to me. Twitch. Pop out. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. I see there are 4 people watching on YouTube. I don't know how many else are on other places, so sorry about that. Oh, it's so crowded again. And like when somebody's gonna write me something, I'm not gonna see it, obviously, because most of the space is now the bars. Oh well. So I'm done with the line art for Fluffers. Oh no, I still have the tail. I was celebrating too early. Oh, hi Steven, hi! Yay, you made it! Can you hear me? I'll try and see if I can fit. Give more room here. Yep, I can hear you. Okay, awesome. Ugh. So I'm done with the line art for Fluffers. Yay! And I'm hoping that I finish in half an hour the line art for my foxfish, and I can do the colors as well and everything. Hopefully I'll finish in the time I have. Okay, so line art me. So this is a character that I've used whenever I drew animals and friends. So it's a bit of a fish fox creature. Oh, I can't draw a line anymore. Okay, I think I had rotated the canvas when I did that. So I'm using Clip Studio Paint. I don't know if you know the program. I can have vector line art, so that's really cool. Whenever I need to draw something with line art, something where the line art counts, I use this program. And I can adjust here the line art if I wish to. Such a neat program. What do you use to make your art? I'm also using Clip Studio Paint. Using vector layers for line art is awesome. Yeah, it's like I've discovered hot water. I mean, you kind of had it in Photoshop Illustrator, but it was nowhere this versatile. And I just love it. The only thing that I would say came close to being as useful was the stabilizer feature in Paint X Pro, Corel Painter X, something like that. And you have stabilization in Clip Studio Paint as well, and in what's it called, Paint Storm. But the fact that you can go afterwards, after you screwed it up, even then, and adjust the line art, it's perfect. And I like that you have this feature to adjust the width of the line art as well. So anyway, how's it been going for you? It's a rainy day here in Michigan. So much for our plans to go bicycling at some point. It just keeps raining every weekend. So it doesn't rain in the during the week when everybody's at work, but it rains during the weekend. Because why should you be happy and have good weather in the weekend? You don't need that. I can't wait for us to be able to control the weather. I mean, a lot of people were saying that's a bad idea, but it can be good as well. Think of all the ruined barbecues that never came to be. Oh, this one's not right. The line art here. It's sunny and around 30 degrees Celsius here. Oh, most of the time. Rather he didn't love it. I didn't know Leipzig was so warm. I mean, when I went, it was okay, but I don't remember much. We visited Poland as well, and I was in a tank top, so I think it was warm. But we were outside all the time and going into museums which had air conditioning, so my memories of Leipzig is good weather, nice. Not too warm, not too cold. And Leipzig is more to the north than my home country, so I guess maybe I have a different perspective of it. It's been so cold the past few years here in Michigan that I don't remember what it's like. Like we rarely get 28 degrees here, let alone 30. Like the other night we had 12 degrees or something like that. Yes, it's just too hot. Yes, it's very unusual, especially in early June, even late May. Here it's already so hot. Yeah, I remember Bucharest being insufferable, not being able to sleep at night because it was so warm, and the way the apartment was arranged, I couldn't put air conditioning. Well, you know, you're jealous now, but the winters are very long and very cold. So since I work from home, I don't suffer that much. But for my husband, it can get pretty tough. So imagine every morning um, you have to clean your car of snow and ice. So you wake up half an hour early, like you have to go at 8 to clean the car and then go to work. You know, it's not fun. Oh no, I'm fine with the weather here. We have air conditioning. The winters are so long for you. Yeah. So up in the YouTube chat is my sister, and Ada, I am talking with Steven. He's in the um, Twitch chat. He is a friend. You said, yeah, he's the artist of Fluffers. Wow, that piece of fruit did not go in the right hole. He's the author of Steven's the Luxi's World or something like that, but the main character is Fluffers. Let me go to Tipastic. Let's see. Where was it? Ah, the World of Luxi. I don't know if he can see that you said hi to him, but my sister said hi. Let's see if I can do a straight line. Nice line. Nope. We might be here for a while. Close enough. I've seen it. Hello back. There we go. That worked out. Well, that line there does not taper off properly, but let's see if I can thicken it out to look more normal. Like it tapered out properly. Yep. Okay, so let's see how much of it I have done. And I'm gonna lower the transparency of other things as well so I can see better. Because I always do this, you know, I forget some piece of the character and then I erase the sketch layer and then I'm left with a blank space and I have to do Control Z until I get it back. Fortunately, the default back steps in Clip Studio Paint is kind of big, though I wish I knew how to adjust it so I can choose the number of steps like you can in Photoshop. And since I wear glasses, my animal character usually has two sets of eyes. I think I started this character up in university. because I didn't have much time to draw anything interesting. So I thought, I do um, myself as a animal of some kind, and a friend. And I just did my colleagues, and I would ask them, what animal do you want to be? What's your favorite color? And I just did the characters with them. And meanwhile, I was writing my stories and everything else, but not too much because I had the dissertations and the licenses, and I'm not sure how it's called in English. Thesis paper, I think it's called. I'm so glad I don't have to go to school anymore. Okay, and I got the other part of the head to do that I've been postponing. I had to do something similar for mermaid. I don't know if you guys saw my mermaid illustrations, but I did an illustration from one of my friends. She had done a tigerfish inspired mermaid, which looked really neat. People always say it's harder after school. What do you think? Because it probably is being an adult and all, but still you can do what you like for a living. The issue is it depends a lot. So school is fairly standard in most places, but for work it can be either way. Because for school you have 8 hours of school or 7 hours of school, and then you have to go home and do homework, which takes up any spare time you have. And also a lot of kids are sent to clubs and stuff like that after school, so you really don't have any time of your own, not much of it anyway. And you don't get to decide your own schedule. So I mean, if you're tired one day, you can't just say, oh, it's weekend, I'm gonna rest. So if you're single and don't have kids, and have a job that's 8 hours a day and that's all, then yeah, you get left with a lot of spare time that you can use to do whatever else you want to do. But if you have a job that requires you, for example, if you're a doctor or something else like that, or an artist, or you are a teacher or things like that, you're gonna work a lot after hours, and you're never gonna have any time for yourself. And then if you get married and are of a certain age, then you'll have family obligations. You'll have to go to like every holiday for whatever things you need to go to. Need to help family members if there are any medical problems, because you're an adult and you have to do the adult things. Yeah, you're always gonna be working in the summer. Even if you're a professor, you have a lot of things to do in the summer. Depending on how you are on the totem pole of the um, work environment. So you might have certain obligations, bureaucratic ones, assessments and financing and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it depends from country to country. Um, in the US, I think because it is most of it's private, you have to do a whole lot of things to attract new students. And if it's not private, then you have to deal with a lot of bureaucracy. Either way, it can be more work than you might have thought it would be as a student. How did you figure things out when you got out of university? Because as 18, you're an adult legally, but not really. What do you mean, figure things out? Because I'm not sure. Figure out what job I want to do, or what do you mean? Because to be honest, I never really had time to think about stuff. I just did what I had to do. Well, jobs and all. Well, I didn't work at 18. I worked at, think, the first time at 21 or something like that. Because I physically did not have the time, so I had to finish the two universities I was at, and then I could uh, get employed. Being an adult, well, I wouldn't consider myself much of an adult now either, so there's that. I don't know, I didn't think, I didn't have time to think. I was like, okay, I need money, I need to get employed. What do I do? Where can I apply? So, okay, I go online and I look on websites and then I phone people. Yeah, going to two university and a job seems crazy. It's not that it's crazy, it's just physically impossible to be in three places at the same time. Huh? What's going on with my tablet? Okay. It froze for a while. I don't know why. So yeah, I never really had time to think about figuring things out. I just had to do a lot of stuff. So like, okay, how do I solve this problem? I need to do this, I need to do that, and how do I do those? And just talking to friends that were already employed or asking around, like, okay, and they said, oh, look online. There are a lot of websites that you can look online to find jobs. And that's what I did. Okay, so I'm gonna do the color now. let's see the link here. Oh, I can't copy paste. Okay, print screen. So I get the same colors for the base anyway. I did not close the lines properly, and I think it's gonna take too long to do that, so I'm just gonna color the old-fashioned way. And it's 12 and I got 1 hour to finish coloring. Hope I can do it in time. So yeah, after I finished 3 years to get the license, then I could get employed. And my first job was part-time, and I worked as a junior animator for a feature film. And the pay was horrible, but I was doing what I liked. Of course, this always leads to tension in every family, because the parents, you know, they lived in a different time in a lot of places. The economy was different from one generation to another, so um, a lot of parents expect, I think they forget also how it was for them, and they expect the kids to make a ton of money immediately, and that's just not the case. Even if you're a doctor, like, the salary is gonna be horrible for many years, um, and you have to stay in school for a really long time. And anybody that wants to be a scientist, usually they join the job market at about 30 years, like in their 30s sometimes. They can get a job and work as an assistant professor or something like that. Because in the job market, they're not gonna find any job because they're not yet a specialist. Yeah, it's not the most fun. I'd say as a graphic artist, you can be on your feet pretty early on. I've never heard a doctor describe their job as fun, but more of a duty. Military doctor? Okay, good luck. At least they're in the Romanian army, so they're like probably never gonna go to combat. But you never know. I would never do that, but she does, would like to. Yeah, I mean, for some people it seems like a fun idea. I had a friend in university. He wanted to be a war journalist, but fortunately for him, I guess he changed his mind. It's definitely a service that is needed, especially with a lot of war crimes going on, and it needs to be documented by somebody to have evidence of um, what do you call it, infringement of the human rights. So there are some kinds of devices that are not allowed to be used. Yeah, I think maybe he wants to be the pilot, and so she loves him, so she wants to be with him, but they're never gonna be together in that kind of a job, because they're gonna be deployed where they're needed, not where they want, so I don't think it's gonna work out the way they hope. I think the ears are too big, but I kinda like it. No, she liked it before, but now because they found out they both like it. Oh, here in the US it's very praised to be a um, soldier, they call it. But you get a salary, so I think it's more of a mercenary, in my opinion, if you get paid to do this. It might just be my wrong understanding of what it means to be a soldier, but I know if you're going to fight people and you get paid for it, you're a mercenary. But I think mercenary is just that they're in the private sector, so if you're not a private mercenary, you're a public mercenary, then you are a soldier. Or something like that. Could be, I don't know. There are a lot of benefits in the army. Um, in Romanian army, I don't know if there's any benefit aside from just laying around and never doing anything because we're not at war with anybody. So I guess it's kind of the same benefits as being a cop in Romania. They never do much. They just sit around and eat sarmale for the most part. Or covrigi. Instead of donuts, they eat covrigi. And in the USA, it's pretty weird. Like, for example, education is not guaranteed by the higher education, sorry, is not guaranteed by the state. But if you don't have a degree in anything, nobody's going to hire you. So a lot of people, young people here, have to go to be in the army because they have nowhere else to get an education, higher education. And without a higher education, like, you're gonna just starve to death. That you can retire sooner and get paid well or something. Yeah, as a police officer, you retire sooner and get paid well for doing nothing your whole life mostly, because it's considered a dangerous job. But in the USA, it's like, seems to me like it's pointlessly dangerous, because the guns and military equipment is just so readily accessible. Is that the result is that the police here in the USA, it's pretty militarized. Like, the police officers in the USA have tanks and other things like that. You're definitely paid better, I think, than a professor. Like, a lot of professors here in the USA have a horrible salary, just like in Romania. And let's see what color inside his mouth. I'm not sure. Okay, so it's kind of a pink. Yeah, they have these big vehicles. They look like tanks. If you go to see what happened with the Dakota pipeline, you can see all the fancy equipment there. And all the cars here are pretty armored and things like that. What color are his eyes? Kinda don't remember Fluffer's eyes. Oh, they're black, completely black. And there was a lot of scandal here in the USA because they didn't want to give teachers a raise, but they wanted to give them guns so they can protect the students against shooters. So that was one scandal. And I mean, if you are a soldier in the Romanian army, like mostly nothing's gonna happen until Russia invades, because that's usually what happens. We are in NATO, so we are obliged to participate in any military action that NATO or the European Union or other unions that we're a part of takes. So, for example, America, I'm not sure exactly what the legislation and what technical terms are, but you remember it went into Libya, and that was a joint NATO thing, if I understand correctly. Yeah, and so Romania had to participate, and Libya was a former ally from when we were in the Soviet bloc. So it was kind of tricky because I think there were some understandings. I'm not sure about the bureaucracy. Didn't follow the story closely. But Romania only acted as a naval blockade, so they did not deploy troops in Libya. But I think they had deployed troops in Afghanistan in the past with the whole George Bush Iraq war. Then they went into Afghanistan or something. I'm not sure. And we had sent like 1,000 or 2,000 troops. I'm not sure if we have that many. Ideally, we would never need to spend money on these things. Guess he has white tummy. Okay, all the way down. Talk about politics. I don't know if you know, there's a British comedian called Tracy Ullman, and she's very good at impersonating people. And she did an impression of Angela Merkel, because Putin was saying something at some conference, and she just rolled her eyes, and she did a very good impersonation of Angela Merkel, and trying not to roll her eyes to learn to be more poker face. I don't want to spoil the joke for you, but I think I gave you the link. I don't remember, or I gave you something longer. Um, but it was really funny, especially since politics has gotten so crazy now, and also it's a lot easier to record politicians and to share the information. So whatever a politician says, it's recorded and it's forever and ever on the internet. And so she had to listen to what other politicians say and not roll her eyes. It was really funny. There was a tweet of Trump saying, "I'm like really smart." He said it a lot. Yeah, he does that. Yeah, sounds funny. Let me see if I can find it again. Tracy Ullman, Angela Merkel, poker face. Okay, I think I found it. Yeah, I gave it a like. This must be it. I have to eat. Yep, sure, go and eat, cause then we're gonna play. And I will have to eat as well. Tracy Ullman, I just discovered her. I mean, I knew the name Tracy Ullman for a long time, but I just thought it was some British actress. I didn't give it much thought. Yeah, I gave you the link there, Ada. You can watch it when you eat or when you get back or something. And she's great at impersonations. She's amazing at it. And so the thing is, Tracy Ullman, she's British, and then she went to the USA and had some success there because she married an American person. That's why she went to the USA. And she had a comedy show in the USA, and between the comedy skits, or whatever they're called, um, they had short episodes of The Simpsons. 2 or 3 minutes of Simpsons animations, like those first Simpsons animations. And she was successful when those skits were showed, sketches, short animations, sorry. And that's where The Simpsons got its first break and then branched off to be this hugely successful show. And it all started on her show, the Tracy Ullman show. And I remember when, whenever they did a biography, I guess you can call it, like the history video about how The Simpsons came about, and they would say, "Oh, we started on the Tracy Ullman show." And I kept hearing Tracy Ullman for years. Yeah, I simply know her, but she's great with the accents, and um she does an impression of Dame Judi Dench. And if I had not gone to the comment section, I would have never known it's not her. Because I thought it was weird, like, okay, Judy is doing a comedy show now. That's strange, but she's an actress. Maybe she's doing something new. She's branching out into comedy or something like that. But no, it was Tracy Ullman. They did such a great face prosthetics, and also her accent and impression of Judy was so great. I At first I didn't realize it wasn't her. And the funniest part is, so she vandalizes some stuff as, she supposedly, she's like the dark side of Judy Dench and what Judy Dench does in her spare time for fun, and she vandalizes stuff. And then she kicks something over, and somebody on the street says, "Hey, aren't you?" And she says, "Yes, I'm Helen Mirren." Oh my. So the joke in the joke for that one, I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. And of course, she did impersonations of Maggie Smith and Helen Mirren, but Helen Mirren has a very different face shape than Tracy Ullman, so it wasn't the best in terms of cosmetics, but she gets the voices perfectly. She's very good at impressions. Oh, this shape is closed. I can color it easily. So yeah, guys, if you get a chance to, let's see if I can combine selected layer and it stays. Line. Okay, good. So yeah, guys, if you get a chance to watch those comedy shows, I encourage you to do so because they're absolutely hilarious. Now I don't know if my sister will get most of the jokes because she's pretty young, so. And also, there's so many presidents and politicians and chancellors in the European Union. It's hard to follow. But then again, in the USA, you have governors for each state, which fortunately, for the most part, they keep their mouths shut and don't do too much um, scandal. And to be honest, living in the USA for so long, I'm kind of got tired of US politics, so for me it was really nice to see some European politics for a change. I really liked Trevor Noah when he was international with his stories. I mean, for me, it was really interesting to hear jokes about the African countries because usually I don't hear anything coming out of there. So I was really happy to hear about, the different states in Africa because usually you remember things better when they keep repeating And also I would go online to see where is Trinidad, where is Nigeria, where is whatever exactly, because I knew they were there somewhere, but I didn't know where exactly. And uh, what their capital was and things like that. But since he joined the uh, Daily Show, he's only been doing US stuff. And I have to say I got bored of that really fast. Oops. When he first came, he started his jokes about Myanmar or something like that, which I thought was really neat because I think it's a kingdom. So, oh, come on, seriously, I'm working and you're putting food in front of me. That's cruel and unusual treatment, and I still have half an hour until I can eat. Thank you. You're such a good husband. I will remember this. Yes, I will remember what you've done. Do you guys play any Telltale games? Like whenever you do something, the characters will remember what you've done. And like if you've done something bad, they'll remember you've done something bad. And if you do something good, they'll remember that too. But the part where they remember when you did something bad, not great. They'll not help you or things like that. Now I haven't decided on the color, but the lighting. See if I have it on my desktop. No, I don't have it on my desktop, and I gotta go dig somewhere to see exactly. But I think I'll go with lighting from that direction. Maybe in the, like, I remember I saw was in the back. So it was a hill in the back and the lighting was kind of going dramatically from that direction. I'll leave the face for when I um, decide where I'm gonna have the light coming from. Where's the normal? Oh. Yeah, so since I can't decide on the lighting for it, I'm trying to remember where I put that. Maybe I put it here. So I had a... oh, there it is. Found it. Yep, so I'm gonna choose the cheerful one. So I'm gonna have the lighting come from the front. Yeah, I'll keep it from the front. So I'm gonna keep it a lime green because that goes well. And a blue for the sky. And maybe I should put the sky on a different layer. Call this sky. And I think I need to make it a lot more blue saturated so I can get a good contrast between the clouds. Now I'm very bad at drawing clouds, so I'm gonna put them on a different layer first of all. Now I have an illustration in mind where I had some really interesting clouds, and I'm gonna go try and see if I can find that one, but not now because I have no idea where it is, and I think it will take too long to look for it now. Come on, seriously, I'm seriously hungry. Stop showing me food. Like I told you before, I am hungry. Stop showing me food. No, I'm not joking. I'm really hungry. Like, that was really mean of you. I thought you loved me. You're my husband and stuff. Yeah, sorry. Like, my stomach is literally making hungry noises, you know? Oh, Pepsi on an empty stomach. Did you think much? No, you didn't. Have a piece of banana I'm gonna eat. So I try to do a bit of a hill and with grass and everything. Um, to look more like the forest where Fluffer lives. But yeah, I was still thinking about jokes with Tracy Ullman and trying not to laugh because it would be weird to laugh by myself. But I remembered, there's shows where they show you cute stuff and you're supposed not to go aw or not to laugh. Um, I think at some point we'll get up to shows where you're shown things that politicians say and you have to not roll your eyes. I mean, I think that will be hard for me. I think I can manage the not to laugh part because I just remember how many bills I have to pay at the end of the month and then all joy leaves my body. But the not roll your eyes part, I think it will be pretty difficult. Because I mean, some of the stuff you hear on TV, wow. I'm so hungry. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it to 1 o'clock. Stop laughing at my suffering and pain. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're trying to get on my good side now. It will not work. I will never forgive you. Mm-hmm. I think I'll do some sandwiches. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I have to eat. So I'm gonna end the stream here because I'm too hungry. What? I don't want burgers. Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream here and I'll finish this offline. No need to rush. It's okay if you don't make it on time. Thank you, Steven. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna do I'm gonna finish the illustration offline, but you can get a better understanding of what I'm going for here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And next week is gonna be a new page from my comic, Neil's 5 Months Time Traveling Adventures. I think it's gonna be page 72 or 71. I think it's 71. Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be Wednesday between 3 and 5 p.m. Michigan, USA time. That is um, 10 o'clock for for Romania and 9 for Italy and Germany. I have no idea. But anyway, take care, everyone, and see you next time. Bye bye.